kick, 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 kick. What you doing? Hello there, good people. My name is Pio Mahlake and welcome to my channel. If you are here for the very first time, where have you been? Anyways, welcome. Of course, if you are my newbies, my goodies, and my oldies, and you are returning here, welcome back, gang. Okay, so I'm moving around in my house trying to find the perfect place to shoot. And, I think I'm going to settle in my office. I've been avoiding shooting in here because of the fact that it's close to my kid's bedroom. And of course, whenever I'm here talking and laughing, they hear where I am and they want to come and disturb me. So I wasn't having it. So now I feel like this is a place I just want to continue to shoot in so that I have a consistent place where I am. So, again, I have tea today, of course, darling. So you can grab a cup as well. Today I'm having ginger tea. It really is really, really good first thing in the morning, and it's good for digestion. So this is what I'm having, child. So I will be sipping here and there, okay? Okay, that's delicious. Grab yourself something as well. Okay, so let's get right into this topic. There's a reason why I'm doing this particular video, and it's one that has been really, really close to my heart for the longest time, because this is what actually helped me with my first pregnancy and also with my second pregnancy. Okay, so when I was a new mom to be, I was not entirely sure what I needed to get, what I didn't need to get, what I just didn't know much, right? So I was really relying on other people. I was relying on Google. I was relying on the YouTube space to actually guide me as to what is it that I need, what is it that I need to buy, what is it that baby needs, what is it that I personally need, and all of that in preparation for the baby to come. Because sometimes you have an idea what is it that you need to buy, but you don't really know what brand is good. You don't know how much of something you should buy. Should you bulk buy? Should you just buy small portions? And does baby really need this? Should I train him to have that, or do they naturally? You're just not sure what to do, basically. So for me, YouTube really helped me out a lot, and I can tell you now that 95% of the videos I was watching were videos from abroad, right? There was really nothing from here in South Africa, and that was a lot for me, because sometimes you want a specific thing but you can't really get it because it's from Australia and you are in South Africa, and you don't know actually comparing that brand to another brand here in South Africa, which brand would that be comparable to? So for me, I felt like, when I do start my YouTube channel, I want to be that person who's going to be a voice, not a voice per se, but like who's going to give, you know, information, whether it's researched, whether it's from personal experience, of the things that one may need in a different stage of their lives, whether you're renovating, whether you're having a baby, whether you're coping with death, whatever it is that you may be going through, that I've been through. I would be actually laying it out on my YouTube space, so that it can actually help somebody. I know basically I was far from my mom. Even though my mom was a phone call away, she was from another generation. She was not really sure what are the items that we need to buy. I mean, I'm her firstborn and this is her first grandchild, so you can imagine she's not fully aware of all the items that you need to buy and how much of something you really need. And I had to actually put together my own research and see and some things were trial and error. I made a lot of mistakes. I bought a lot of things. Half of the things I really didn't need, and a lot of the things were for aesthetics, and I really wasted money because from one baby to the next, you're not going to reuse those things, because some of them, if they are for aesthetics, if they are for the look, the other baby, you don't want them to kind of fit into the glove of the previous baby, you know what I mean? So it was a complete waste of money. I mean, I didn't use 70% of the things I bought, which was ridiculous because, I mean, it was ridiculous, a complete waste of money. And I think some of it is impulsive buying, some of it is to being overly excited, and third of all, it's just not knowing what I'm doing. Okay, so this video is about that. I got you. I'm not saying all these things that I'll be saying do not buy are things that you should not buy. I'm just telling you from my experience, and I'm gonna give reasons why I did not purchase those particular items. And you can actually be your own judge as to should you or should you not buy those particular items. So let's get right into it. First things first, right? I know. Maybe for some people this would be like, are you sure? I'm not sure. Okay. One of the first things I know that might be a bit of a I don't know about that to a lot of people is this. Right? Okay. I bought it. I had somebody who was doing my whole nursery do the linen for it, and the little plastic sleeve, for when you're changing the baby and all that. Let's just say I've used it twice and my baby's 4 years old today. Okay, you don't need it. You don't need it. Here's the reason why, right? When you are from the hospital, right, whether you had a C-section or whether you gave birth naturally, you will be, it's gonna be graphic. Disclaimer, it will be graphic, because this is something that happens. This is natural. This is what happens. This is life. After giving birth, these are things that happen, right? So you are really bleeding down there, right? And you are in a little bit of discomfort, especially C-section, you've got your stitches and you don't really want to move around all that much, especially the first few days of delivery, right? So I can say that when you come back home, you will have to create an environment for yourself that is comfortable and that is comfortable for the baby as well. So when you come back from hospital, you choose a spot, right? You've already prepared if it's going to be a bedroom, and you make yourself very comfortable there because you yourself don't want to move around, and also you don't want baby to move around from one environment to the next, for the main reason of his immune system is not really that strong yet, so you're trying to build it, so you have to be in the same environment or in the same space for a little bit. Okay, so his changing bed or his changing station is in his room. Are you gonna get up from where you are, wherever it is, the environment that you've set, wherever you're comfortable, right? You are there, and you're gonna take your baby, and you're gonna when it's time to change the baby, you're gonna take them to their bedroom, and you're gonna change them there, and then it's a different temperature there, and it's not pleasant because you're not comfortable, the baby's not comfortable, and you go to his room and you change him, and then you come back again. Another 30 minutes later, you are up again to his room to change him, because honestly the first few days, actually the whole duration of the baby, while they're still in their nappies, they actually go to the toilet quite a bit, but the first few months of the baby, the first 3 months, it's really like this. They're constantly flushing out things, right? Especially the first few days of birth, they are flushing out whatever is in their system, right? So how many times are you gonna get up to go to his bedroom to go change? I think that is something you don't need initially. Maybe it's something you might need when the baby's 4, 5, 6 months old. But for me, I never really used it, because by the time my baby was 3, 4, or maybe 5 months old, I was already used to kind of having a little station where I am sitting, where if I'm sitting, let's say I've chosen the living room or even my bedroom, I have a little station, near me, where I have a changing mat and I have all the essentials that I need for him to change, and I change him right there, and the temperature is perfect, the environment is perfect, and my baby and myself are both comfortable. So I wouldn't say you need it, but maybe when the baby is a little bit older, you might actually need it. Okay, so this again is what I went through. It's not necessarily maybe what you will go through or what you will go for. Okay. Number 2, what I know I did not need is a whole freaking nursery. I didn't need it. I mean, I prepared the whole thing, I prepared everything. I prepared even, the beddings, the pillows, all of it. I prepared it. I prepared everything. And I can tell you today that my baby maybe started using that room when he was 8 months, 9 maybe. Instead, I was co-sleeping, right? Because the first few months of the baby's life, I was paranoid. I was anxious that, oh my word, what if you can't breathe? What if he's cold? What if this? What if that? And already, because of having had the baby in my tummy for all this time in my womb, I had created a very solid bond with the baby, and every time we breastfed, I got closer and closer to him, and we actually bonded. And my baby, my first, was really eating a lot. Okay, so he always was just on the boob, and I did not rest getting up from where I'm sleeping to go to his room to actually nurse him and come back again, try to sleep. In another 2 hours, I'm up again in his room nursing. That's not practical. Be kind to yourself, mummies. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to baby. Baby wants to be close to you. Baby wants to feel you. Baby wants to just know that you are there, because that's the environment they grew up in your womb. So I don't know if it's actually healthy to snatch them away. I don't know. Don't crucify me. This is my take on this topic. So I would say get a co-sleeper rather than actually a crib. And also, do not get a crib for the sake of getting a crib, right? I would say if you're going to be spending money on a crib, rather spend money on a good crib, right? This is what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say spend money on a crib that can actually develop with your baby than getting a crib that your baby will use for the first 5-6 months. And then next thing, the crib is a little bit, crampy. So you need to get a bigger one, or you don't really want to be buying beds throughout the baby's development, right? I'd say look for a crib that is actually one that can actually grow with the baby as the baby develops. So get a crib that's in that nature, and not necessarily one that you'll have to replace every 6 or every 10 months. So another one is, actually I've seen this quite recently, where in the master bedroom, right, or wherever you're sleeping, you can actually create a little nursery for the baby in a specific corner. Some of them are even doing it in their closet. I know, it sounds far-fetched, it sounds ridiculous, it sounds like it's a scary thing. Why would you put your baby in the closet? But actually, you can make it out to be a beautiful space, and the baby will be right there, but you can still be like separated at different points in times in the day. So I would say maybe consider actually having a little nursery in your room instead of having a nursery in his room, right? So having a nursery in your own space that you are in, I think will work better, and will work best for you and for baby. Okay, another thing that I shouldn't have done this. Those swaddle thingies, I don't know what they call them, but it's like a swaddler thingy, and you just like tie around the baby to make them snug and comfortable, nice and warm, with zips and straps and Velcro and all of that. Don't waste your money. Don't buy those things. Don't do it. Okay, I did the mistake of buying a few of those, because they said that it mimics the womb, how the baby was tight in the womb and snug and all that, so they sleep longer, they sleep better. Child, don't do that to yourself. Those things don't work. They are too much of a hassle. Whenever you need to change the baby, you must unstrap. And now remember, at night when you're changing the baby is not always conscious, it's not always up. You're just changing them because you want them to be comfortable. And as you're changing the baby, now that you have to unstrap, untie, unzip, all of that jazz, and then still get to the baby and still unzip, untie, unclip, and change the baby. By the time that you actually get to unstrapping these things and getting to the baby's PJs or rompers or onesie, the baby's up. Now you must deal with the baby who's up at 2 in the morning and you woke him up. You know what I mean? So they're just not practical. Don't do it. I would say rather go for these Mussolini's little cloths, these cotton cloths that are for swaddling, because you actually get to use them for more than just swaddling the baby. Also, when the baby grows out of them, you can actually use them for many other uses. So I'd say go for that. I'm gonna insert a picture on some of the things that you can use these for. I'd say go for those, and plus they come in like beautiful range of designs and colors, and I feel like if you can just get like 2 or 3, you'll be good. Okay, you don't really need a lot of those things, and you don't really even need to swaddle the baby all that much. My first hated him because he was moving around, and I can tell you babies are different, right? There are babies that were, when they were in your womb, right, they were just quiet, they were not moving around all that much, but my first was like ooh, mommy, wake up, what you doing? That's what he was doing. Okay, so there was no way that when he's out of my womb he's gonna be like this. There was no way. He was like, mommy, hey, I'm sleeping, what you doing? You know, he was still doing that, and those things didn't work. They just frustrated him because he was that kind of baby. Okay, so I'd say don't go for those. Another thing that I would advise against is buying a whole lot of these pacifiers. Pacifiers are good, don't get me wrong. They're amazing, we love them. My first baby loved them. He used them quite a bit, and he soothed himself with them, but my second didn't. So I made the mistake of buying a whole bunch of them for my second, which he hated. He never used the pacifier in his life. I tried it, it just didn't work. He was more self-soothing. He didn't need those things. And now I was left with a whole bunch of pacifiers, and that I had to return. Some of them, because they come in 2s, and I already opened it, and the baby used one, and I opened another packet thinking maybe he doesn't like this particular one, maybe he wants another one that's shaped differently, and he doesn't like that one. That one was a pack of 4, and I've already opened it. Now I like lost a whole lot of money because I actually bought very good brands, hoping that, you know, it won't disturb him, or rather it will be a really amazing for his digestion as well. It will not cause colic, you know, air coming into his tummy. That was a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. He hated them, and I'm left with pacifiers that I had to give away and just give people away, and just give them away to people that actually need them. Okay, another thing that I would advise, right, is when you're buying clothes for your baby, do not buy newborn baby. Do not buy sizes tiny baby. No tiny baby, no newborn baby. For the main reason of the baby will grow. Even if the baby comes and they are small, they will eventually grow. And you know what? When I say eventually, I don't mean it's over a long duration. It's actually over days. Literally, you can see your baby from day 1 until day 8. They've grown so much, and you've bought a whole lot of newborn stuff, and now they're a little bit, you know, snug, they're a little bit tight on their baby, and now you need to move on to the next numbers, right? Okay, so I would say rather buy babies clothes that are from 0 to 3 months, because even if your baby comes and your baby is small, they can actually grow into those items, and you can buy a whole lot of them, and you know the baby will actually use them for the next 3 months or so. So I would say do that, because I bought a lot of tiny baby stuff. I bought a lot of newborn stuff, right? Because I made a judgment according to my first baby, who was a very tiny baby, and a lot of his clothes were a little bit big, but they were kind of okay, because I bought the tiny babies and I bought the newborn baby size items, and they were fine. He was okay. And then my second was way bigger. So now I bought the same as I did with my first, and that was a mistake because he couldn't fit in those clothes. He fit in them the first day he was here, and then by the three, those things were tight, they were uncomfortable. I had to move on now to a bigger size, and you don't want to actually find yourself having to move around in a mall trying to find baby items, or getting people to go buy items for you, especially because you want to buy items that are cute for the baby, things that you personally like for the baby. I would say that just buy 0 to 3 months. Do not buy any clothes lower than that, because your baby might come out actually bigger than what you anticipated. Or even if your baby does come a little bit smaller, they will actually grow into those items. Okay, another point is toiletries, right? Toiletries for the baby. I made the mistake, darlings. I know I made plenty of them, right? But that's why I'm here, so that you don't have to make the same mistakes that I did, okay? So I bought a whole lot of, bulk buying of bulk bought items. Excuse me. I went out there and I bought like huge quantities of baby lotions, of baby oils, baby powder, all of these things that they say the baby needs. I bought all of them, the massage oils, the this, the that, the that. And then my baby came. My baby had extremely dry skin, right? The skin was so dry that I would put the lotion, and then I would also put like maybe like Vaseline on it, or any petroleum jelly, the baby ones, and never helped, to the point that I actually had to move on to like a specialized, or rather a specific brand that deals with dry skin specifically, that is formulated for dry skin. I had to abandon the whole chunk of stuff that I bought. And like, it was a lot, because I was planning that I don't want to move around, okay? I want to have like my time with my baby at home for the next 3 months, especially because after having the baby, I actually went to my mom's house at home, and I was home for about 3 months. And during that time of 3 months, I didn't want to move around all that much. So I just like bought a whole bunch of stuff that I had to literally give away. I still have some of these items laying around somewhere. I would say that, when you come from hospital, which they normally give you like a small sample size products, right, for the baby. So I would say try them out and see how they are. And then if you feel like they are not good for your baby's skin, you haven't spent a lot of money buying items that the baby will never use. And my baby has never used your Johnsons and Johnsons and all these other brands that are out there. They just didn't work on his skin. And also his skin was so dry that I actually had to go like for E45. I had to go for your Epimax, things that are really formulated, brands that are really formulated for actual dry skin. And till today, I'm using this intensive care Epimax, because the yellow one, then the normal one doesn't work. Even the baby one doesn't work. My baby uses an oil to bath, and not these other head to toe, all these other things. Those things don't work. And actually, as a matter of fact, they dry out his skin. So I had to use this, and I had to use for bathing, and I had to use this for moisturizing. Okay, so don't bulk buy those items. Wait until your baby's here. Maybe buy a little amounts of them, and wait until the baby's here to see how your baby reacts to those particular things, and actually just test it out. Another thing that you don't need to buy is an expensive pump, right? If you are breastfeeding, you don't need this one. However, you do need a pump. You do need a pump. Even if you buy a cheap one, even if you buy those manual ones, this is the reason, right? So when you're breastfeeding, the first few days of the baby's life, when the baby sucks, or when the baby latches on your boom, on your when the baby latches on your breast, right, they will be eating quite a bit. And I mean quite a bit, I mean quite a little bit. Quite a little bit. Like they literally will be eating something like this for the first month or the first few months. They're not eating a lot. Their tummies are quite small. They don't need a lot of milk the first few days of birth, right? However, your breasts are like, hey, we here for the milk. Your breast will be like giving you milk for days and they will swell up. So I would say buy yourself a pump just to relieve the pressure, just express to kind of, alleviate the pain and the tension that will be in your breast at the time. Okay. That's everything that I felt like I didn't need to buy, and majority of them I bought and I didn't use them. And I'm gonna be loading right after this one a video about things that you do need and how much of those items that you need. And see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.